Happy Father's Day, guys. Today we're going to rank like the best and worst father of all time, okay? And you can give your opinion. I try my best to understand every single one of them in terms of their how they do their parenting, right? And how they appear as a father. This will be an interesting stream and video to make. Okay, hopefully I'm cooking this stream. Let's skip the bullshit and dive deep into today's like juicy content. The first one we are going to rank is Joe Biden. Okay, Joe Biden is the first one. So he's a strange figure. I'm debating if I want to rank Joe Biden. He's a really standard father figure, but he's almost like too old though. So I don't know if I want to put him in. I feel like Joe Biden is like, if he's your father, he can just call you by the wrong name sometimes. I think he can't even remember some of his grandkids' name, right? I'm assuming. So I don't think he's the best father. Yeah, but he can afford to retire in the most luxurious retirement home though. So it's always good to have a rich father and a rich grandfather. You get all his money when he died, right? So I would say he's like maybe semi-decent. Could he be like above average as a father? I would say maybe B, since he's like really rich, right? And really well known. Okay, Joe Biden, a solid B tier, okay? The next one is Peter Griffin. This one is like pretty obvious, right? If you watch the show. I don't even watch the show, but I watched some of the video on YouTube, right? So yeah, I have a grasp of what the show is about. So he have a strange relationship with all his kids though. So, and also always bully his kid. What kind of like that beat like that as father will bully his kid though? So that's really strange. I would say he's one of the worst father in this group. So I would say I'll put him as, I wouldn't say he's the absolute worst. Yeah, definitely below average. Okay, I'll put Peter Griffin at E tier. Then we got Michael Scott. He kind of remind you of the worst manager in your workplace, right? But he's really funny though, and also kind of chaotic. But he can bring a lot of joy and laughter into your workplace though. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he deserves D tier. Yeah, D tier. I think D tier. So the next one is Master Roshi. He used to train Goku and Krillin. He's their mentor, right? But he's a perverted old man. Yeah, pretty obvious though. You hate this kind of man the most, right? In real life, you sometimes you meet this kind of man. Okay, if he's not a pervert, I move him up a higher tier. Let me just put it mid though. The next one is Kanye West. Yeah, Kanye is a really interesting figure. Really interesting, but not in a good way. But in terms of like being a father, he could be a decent father. Kanye maybe a D tier. I'll give him a higher tier though if he's not like fighting for the custody of the kid. Not the worst. So I wouldn't put him like as bad as like Peter Griffin. The next one is Mufasa. A really generous, have a lot of wisdom, a very standard and conventional father figure. He's a solid S tier, I would say. Alright, first S tier in this ranking. Okay, I'm feeling good. The next one is Will Smith. He's the ultimate nice guy. Everybody loves Will Smith. Can't argue with that. I think he's a really solid, good father. Have to give him a lot of credit. A solid father in this list though. Even after the Grammy slip punch like Chris Rock, right? Even after that incident, he's still really solid. I'll give him a solid A, 100%. The next one, what's his name again? Homer Simpson or something. As you see in this gift though, he's like always like choking his own child for some reason. So he has a lot of anger issue and a really chaotic person. Yeah, it's basically just a clown. But all in all, he's still kind of lovable as a father because ultimately he's not a deadbeat dad. He's definitely not an F tier though. Yeah, I wouldn't put him as an E tier too. I mean, maybe D. Yeah, C. Let's put in C. How to decide though. Yeah, the next one is Joe Rogan. I selected one of the best picture of him though. He's really private about his family life though, which is understandable. He got 3 daughters, right? And you rarely seen his family picture on public though. Yeah, it's for good reason because he's just really famous, right? The point I'm making is he's a father figure for a lot of men on the internet. You can sense like he got this like, you know, strange uncle energy. Yeah, that strange uncle which like to smoke weed and martial art, right? And also is really have a lot of wisdom and really open-minded and have a great body and also a pretty tough guy. I would say he's a pretty solid guy though. Nothing much to complain. I'll give you a B tier. You can take like a lot of his advice, but maybe not all those. I'll give him a solid B tier. The next one is Darth Vader. Darth Vader is also pretty cool. He's cool as a character, yeah, but as a father he's not cool though. He cut off the hand of Luke Skywalker. That's one iconic line where he tell Luke like I'm your father, Luke. Really iconic moment. But all in all, he's not a good father. Yeah, he's F tier though. Which father will slice off his son's hands though? Next up we got The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Is he a solid father though? So but I believe most of his action is genuine, but I don't know how much of that is just like PR stuff. I can't figure out like where should I put The Rock in. Maybe some of his action is like a PR stunt just to garner more fan base and just show the world like, oh yeah, this is how you do parenting. Look at me, I'm so rich but I'm so down to earth and I spend time with my child. wow. But I don't want to talk shit about The Rock though. He's a really solid guy. I like him a lot. So I would like him more if he's not bold. But okay, B tier, B tier. Why the fuck is all the bold guy on B tier? Yeah, there's only bold guy on B tier though. That's the coincidence. Okay, so we got someone with hair. David Beckham. Yeah, it's a pretty easy like S tier candidate. Look at his kid. His kid is like so beautiful. I think he's a really solid father. Okay, also really sexy and yeah, good fashion sense. One of the most stylish father on the planet Earth. Okay, so but I would say I'll put him on S tier. A really solid S tier, no doubt about it. The next one is Jordan Peterson. Somehow he got like a little bit too famous. He's a father figure for a huge part of the internet, including me. Part of the reason my room is so clean is because of him. I would like him to shout at me and ask me to clean your goddamn room. Yeah, you know, it's always a good advice because a clean room is a clean mind, right? If Michaela Peterson behaved slightly better during her rebellious phase in her life, maybe I'll give her like higher ranking, maybe S tier. He's not bold though, but I think he's going to B tier. Okay, B tier. Yeah, pretty good. I would say Jordan Peterson is doing a good job. The next one is Walter White. I watched the show though. I really like the show. One of the best show I've ever watched. Okay, he's a really polarizing figure, a really well-written character. You know, when you're in his position, will you do what he do though? Yeah, just lean into your dark side and become the drug lord. As a father, I would say he's not a good father. He's a suck-ass father, I would say. Okay, I remember the scene where he buy a car for Walter White Jr. just to make sure his son get the bitches easy. Yeah, having a tough time deciding. I think I'll put him on the D tier. The next one, we got Drake. Alright, on we go. Drake. I just figured out he has a child. He tried to hide it. The reason he's hiding the child, you have to make a DNA test because there's a lot of girls that will claim, they will say like, this is my kid. He has to protect himself because he got such a high social status, right? He tried to hide his kid from the world. What kind of father would do that? Okay, and he give a lot of like excuses and reason for that, which is reasonable, but I don't know, man. Would you put him as like D tier or okay? Yeah. Drake. Okay, if you're listening, no offense. You're not the worst father, but you're not the best too. So maybe C tier. Yep. The next one is Kratos. Kratos is cool though. He's done a great job. He's made some mistake in his life, but yeah, we all make mistake, right? He's a great father example though. That strength, resilient, and being stoic. All the son in the world, yeah, should learn those kind of attributes. He's a good father. He's a good father. Yeah, A tier. Solid A tier. Make some mistake, but he redeemed himself. Okay. The next one is PewDiePie. He's a really chill and calm father. Almost like such a contrast the PewDiePie we are seeing on his usual YouTube video, right? He's not as crazy on YouTube anymore after he started a family, right? And I think he's making a right decision though for the family. Yeah, in the vlog, they are one of the happiest family I've ever seen on the internet though. So no doubt about it, one of the best father on the internet. We put him on, yeah, definitely A tier. Okay, he's a new father, still has some room for improvement. So we can just put it on A tier. Yeah, solid A tier. Next up we got Don Draper. It's a really like well-written character, but I saw some of his like meme on the internet. Yeah, but he's like always wearing this suit. He's a emotional, unavailable character and pathological liar. He got a narcissistic and psychopathy like behavior. Also neglect his kid a lot, but still sometimes he spend time on his kid though. Don Draper is a E tier. So much room for improvement. Okay, the next one we got Goofy. He's trying his best to make Max happy though. Yeah, he got a lot of goofy behavior, but I think he deserves, I think A tier or S tier. Okay, A tier, definitely. A dad that tried his best, although he messed up a lot, but at least he tried, right? So the next one, we got a controversial figure. We're talking about Amory Tate. So Amory Tate is the father of Andrew Tate. I think a lot of the core principle of Tate come from his father. I would say he's a man with a lot of pride and also ego. I think his fatherly influence is really huge on Andrew and Tristan Tate. What's wrong with his hairstyle though? What the fuck? Yeah, maybe a bit of like toxic masculinity. You can see that manifest on Andrew Tate also. But all in all, I think he's a solid father figure. But his son is just not good. Okay, this is a solid father. I'll put him a B tier. What your son did is not related to the father, right? The father can only do so much, right? So the next one, the Whitebeard. So I used to be a fan of him though. He's just so iconic. Everything about the Whitebeard is so iconic. He's a really great man. Definitely an S tier though. He treat his Nakami, his crew like his own son. Next one is we got Elon. Okay, Elon, really controversial father figure. Yeah, not controversial. It's kind of bad. He's a bad father figure. I think even his father talk about this. He's not a great family guy, and also he has a lot of baby mama, and he named his kid really strangely. I would say I will put him on, yeah, let's put an E tier. Elon. Yeah, sorry Elon. Okay, the next one is this? Yeah, Sujiro Sakura. Yeah. It's a kind of like interesting figure too, but he always look a little bit creepy and untrustworthy though. He's a good stepfather. I will put it on B tier. A lot of room for improvement, but it's a solid B tier. Okay, definitely above average. Okay, the next one we got Thanos. Easily the worst father. Okay, in this list, easily. Okay, abuse her own daughter. He sacrificed Gamora just to get a stone, just to get a freaking stone, man. Okay, this is one of the best picture of him though. Yes, Thanos is S tier. It is so bad he become the best. Okay, the next one we got Genghis Khan. He changed the world population because he has too much kid. I think like over 1,000 plus. Confirm another controversial historical figure. 1 out of 9 Asian is related to Genghis Khan. I'm probably related to Genghis Khan in some sense. Okay, look at my face, so I kind of look like Genghis Khan a little bit. I don't have his money though and his ability to risk girl. I would say Genghis Khan, you leave you instantly after he bang your mom, right? And maybe spending time with his baby maybe is not his top priority though. I think Genghis Khan could be a F tier. He's good at making baby, but he's not good at making his kids feel good. The next one we got God itself. Okay, God, okay, created all of us, is sent his own son Jesus to die for humanity, which is like bad. Yeah, no father would do that. I don't care what you created. Yeah, that's just bad though. Yeah, he's just a mid father. Okay, maybe he's done a lot for humanity. Maybe a D or C. Let's put God on C though. So I don't gonna get trashed by some people, right? Yeah, God, if you're watching this is okay. I give you an average score. Okay, don't punish me for my sin. Okay, and I think this is the whole list, man. This is the whole list. So this is a pretty solid list, I would say. Pretty solid list. This is all the father figure that I want to list out today. Thanos is going to F tier though.